In this video, we'll go through what I use to fertilize my dragon fruits. Starting with this one, these are pellets, which is good for slow release fertilizer with a ratio of nitrogen 5, phosphorus 3, potassium 5. Based on here, for fruit trees, you apply every 6 months, in spring and in autumn. For flowers, every 6 weeks in growing season. The amount I use is, I use it every 3 months, depending how fast they disappear. Then I'll top it up again. If they're still there, I can see, then I won't put any more. But around every 3 months that I'll put these pellets. This is an all-purpose fertilizer, Charlie cup, which is like fish. I use it probably once a month. And if I have new cuttings and I want to accelerate the growth, I use it every 1 to 2 weeks. For seedlings or new cuttings, around 5 ml per liter of water. For fruits and vegetables, this is a fruit, 5 to 10 ml every 2 to 4 weeks. Established trees, 10 ml per liter monthly. This is a 9 liter water can. You can say 10 liter you fill to the top. So you count that. If it's 9 liters, then you use 90 ml for established dragon fruit trees. For seedlings, you use 4. I usually use around 6 because it has plenty of other fertilizers, which is like the pellets. I'll use less. But if I'm not using that and just only relying on this, then I'll use 10 ml per liter, which is 9. Which 10 ml is 1 capful. While using the liquid fertilizer, I also combine it with seaweed solution. Even though this is not considered as a fertilizer, but it will help increase root growth, also help them stimulate fruit and flowering, make them more hardy against frost and heat. Based on this, use around 20 ml per watering can. Like my watering can is 9 liters, so just 2 caps full every 2 to 4 weeks. So I use it at the same time I use the liquid fertilizer once a month. But for the new cuttings, I want to accelerate the growth. I do it accordingly every 1 to 2 weeks. This is worm casting, organic. It's good for all plants. It's safe, does not burn the roots, does not burn the plants. It's odorless, but it's quite expensive. It's around $30 a bag for a small bag of 15 kilos. I only use this once a year. I usually mix these into the soil or use as a top dressing after I put in the pellet fertilizer, because the pellet fertilizer kind of smells. So I'll put this over it and mask the smell. This is Epsom salt. It's good for the plants when it's magnesium deficiency. Usually when the plants, the leaves start turning yellow, especially during hot weather, get sunburnt. I usually plan ahead when I know there's hot days coming ahead. Then I'll water the plants a few days before the heat comes, and also just use it during summertime to promote growth. He says you use 10 to 15 grams, which is around 2 to 3 teaspoons per 5 liters of water. My watering can is 9 liters, so I use around 4 teaspoons. Sometimes I use these 3 in combination. First I put in 4 teaspoons of Epsom salt, 20 ml of seaweed solution, and I use about 60 ml of fish fertilizer in my 9 liters of water can. This is organic potash, which promotes fruit and flower. It also increases the size of the fruit and more chance of getting flowers. It has 41% of potassium Here say applies every 4 weeks during the growing season. So during spring and summer, you can apply it every month. Just sprinkle some on top over wet soil and then just cover it up. But for me, I just been using it at the beginning of spring and beginning of summer, and got great results and enough fruits for me to eat. But if you want to get more fruits, then apply more often. This is the liquid potash. If you want to accelerate getting flower buds, then just use this. Here it says you use 10 mils to 10 liters of watering can. Apply every 2 weeks from before flowering through to the end of the fruit development. I will only use this if you could not apply this, the granulate one, or you want to accelerate it to get flowers. If your plant's been getting flowers regularly, then don't need to use it. But mostly for new trees that you just grew, then you can use this to accelerate it. Another main reason that I'm using it is because, as you can see in this pot, it's full to the top. That it's very hard to add more fertilizer and add more soil, or the roots are coming up, as you can see. So liquid fertilizer is the best option. This is how I apply potash. Just sprinkle on top of wet soil. I water the plant this morning and then just apply this later on. And then you just have to cover it up with potting mix or other soils or worm casting. This is the same potting mix I used to plant the cuttings into the pots. This is good quality as it contains 12 months of fertilizer already. So it's kind of like they can feed just based on this soil. As you can see here, this pellet fertilizer is still here. I put this on around 3 months ago. Every time it rains or you water it, it slowly gets into the soil. So because there's still some in this pot, I don't need to add many more. But I'm just going to top up a bit more before I add soil on top. After you put in all the slow release fertilizer, just cover the top with soil. Just enough to cover them, and after that just water it in.